In the close-knit world of the Duggar family, where 19 siblings grew up under the watchful eyes of Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar's conservative Christian principles, Jinger Duggar Vuolo has carved out her own path, one that's evolved yet remains rooted in faith and family. Now a mother to 2 young daughters, Evangeline Jo age 4 and Fern age 1, alongside her husband Jeremy Vuolo, a former soccer player turned pastor, Jinger has opened up about the intentional choices shaping their home. At the heart of these decisions lies a selective approach to media, particularly when it comes to beloved childhood staples like Disney animated films. Surprisingly, one classic, The Enchanting the Princess and the Frog, has been deemed off-limits for their little ones, a choice that stems not from disdain but from a deeper commitment to aligning entertainment with their values. Jinger, the 6th of the Duggar siblings and a familiar face from the reality series 19 Kids and Counting, has long navigated the tension between her upbringing strictures and her adult autonomy. Raised in Tontitown, Arkansas, in a household that emphasized modesty, courtship over dating and wholesome media, the Duggars became synonymous with large family living in the early 2000s. Television was a rare treat, often limited to educational fare, as Michelle instilled the idea that screens could erode moral compasses. Fast forward to today, and Jinger, now 31 and residing in Los Angeles, has co-authored books like The Hope We Hold with Jeremy, chronicling their love story and spiritual growth. Yet, echoes of that foundational worldview persist, especially in parenting. We want to be really careful about what our kids are exposed to, Jinger shared in a candid video discussion, her voice gentle but firm as she and Jeremy dissected their media philosophy. The film in question, The Princess and the Frog 2009, is a vibrant tale of New Orleans jazz, ambition and self-discovery. Directed by Ron Clements and John Musker, it introduces Disney's first black princess, Tiana, a hard-working waitress dreaming of owning a restaurant. Voiced by Anika Noni Rose, Tiana's journey intertwines with Prince Naveen Bruno Campos, voodoo mysticism via the shadowy Dr. Facilier, Keith David, and a dash of frog transformation magic. It's a milestone for representation, blending Southern folklore with empowerment themes, and grossed over $267 million worldwide. For many families, it's a feel-good frolic, teaching perseverance and the magic of following dreams. But for Jinger and Jeremy, certain elements clash with their biblical lens. Specifically, the voodoo references and supernatural spells that evoke spiritual forces they view as incompatible with Christian teachings. Jeremy, 38, with his theological bent honed at Westminster Theological Seminary, elaborated on this stance, drawing from scriptures like Deuteronomy 18 verses 10 to 12, which warns against divination and sorcery. There's a lot of voodoo and magic in that movie and we just don't want to open the door to that kind of thing for our kids, he explained, his tone measured, emphasizing protection over prohibition. It's not about fearing fun, it's about curating an environment where imagination flourishes within faith's boundaries. Evangeline and Fern, at their tender ages, absorb stories like sponges, and Jinger recalls how her own childhood tales shaped her worldview. We grew up with so many rules about what we watched, she reflected, acknowledging the evolution. They've loosened some, like allowing select VeggieTales episodes for moral lessons wrapped in humor. But boundaries remain, a deliberate filter against content that might normalize occult themes, even in animated whimsy. This decision ripples into broader parenting ethos. Jinger and Jeremy prioritize books and activities that reinforce gratitude, kindness, and God's creation. Think Bible story collections, nature walks in LA's hills, or baking sessions where little hands knead dough while discussing Proverbs. Their home, a far cry from the Arkansas compound's bustle, buzzes with intentional play. Jeremy leading family devotions with age-appropriate parables, Jinger weaving in songs from her playlist of faith-infused artists like Lauren Daigle. It's a balanced rebellion against their past. Jinger's 2021 book Counting the Cost detailed her journey from rigid legalism to grace-filled liberty, crediting Jeremy's influence. Yet, media vigilance endures, a thread connecting her to Michelle's legacy while adapting for modern life. Critics might label it overcautious, but for the Vuolos it's empowerment. The Princess and the Frog isn't vilified, it's simply sidelined, replaced by alternatives like Tangled, minus its sorcery tweaks in discussion, or original tales spun at bedtime. Jinger imagines future movie nights evolving, perhaps revisiting the film with context as the girls mature, turning it into a teachable moment on discerning good from misleading. We're not saying Disney is all bad, Jeremy clarified, praising the studio's creativity. It's about what aligns with our hearts. This approach fosters critical thinking early, equipping Evangeline and Fern to navigate a media-saturated world with discernment. Jinger's transparency, shared via platforms like their podcast The Unplanned Podcast, invites empathy. Fans from Counting On Days appreciate the authenticity, seeing a woman honoring her roots while forging ahead. Motherhood has softened edges. Jinger admits to second-guessing, like during Fern's teething tantrums when a cartoon distraction tempts. But conviction wins, bolstered by community, small group studies, fellow pastor parents swapping tips. It's labor, this curation, but joyful. Watching Evangeline's eyes light up at a puppet show retelling David's courage, or Fern cooing to lullabies of redemption. In essence, banning the princess and the frog isn't isolation. It's invitation to deeper stories, richer connections. Jinger and Jeremy aren't shielding from the world but preparing for it, one value-vetted frame at a time. As their family grows, so does the conversation, a living testament to faith's adaptability in a colorful, complex culture.